Because you can move your hands, and the paper you can fold it different ways, and that exercise me, and I feel great like that.
It's fun. Marco Tullio. All right. That's great. That's true. When you build paper airplanes, it's really easy to experiment and make them fly different ways. That's exactly what we're going to do today. Anyone else like to share their experience with flying machines, either real flying machines or model airplanes?
My name is Camila, and I live here in Tegucigalpa.
Hi, Camila.
When I built my paper airplane, it's really fun because I can just create it like in how I want it, and then you can just like create the own shape of the paper apron.
Sweet, sweet. Okay, good deal. So can someone, since Brent and I, or at least I don't know much about Honduras, can one of you tell us your favorite things about your country? Your all-time favorite things about Honduras that you'd like to share with us. What's your name?
Mirko.
Mirko. Okay, Mirko. Nice to meet you. What's cool about Honduras?
And you can ride like bikes all over the streets, and like up mountains, because there's like flat platforms, so not like rocky platforms, so you can ride wheels, and like you can experiment stuff.
Okay, so Honduras is very, very bicycle friendly. Okay, cool. How about the food in Honduras?
I was thinking the same thing, John.
Delicious.
Who wants to tell about the food? Sarah, come.
Brent and I are very interested in food. If you're a good cook, we'll hire you.
My name is Sarah.
I'm sorry, say again your name?
My name is Sarah.
Sarah. All right, Sarah, welcome. Nice to meet you.
About the food.
In this we have baleadas, and we have catrachas, chilenas, semitas.
Wow, sounds delicious.
Oh, I have one problem. I'm not familiar enough with these foods. Can you mail us some?
Tell him, Adriana, come and tell him, describe the baleadas for them. What are the baleadas? The baleadas are like tortillas, flour tortillas with fried beans inside, and we
Ooh.
put like some cheese, and you can put some avocado on them, eggs,
Ooh.
and then just fold them, and then you're just ready to eat.
Ooh, whoa, making me hungry.
Sounds good.
How about your music and how do they dance in Honduras? Can someone show us how you dance in Honduras?
We do like a party. We use tropical dresses, and the boys too use like something, a hat and a bow tie.
And a bow tie, a hat and a bow tie. That sounds very, very elegant. And how does it look? When you dance, how do you dance? Show us.
Stand up, but just do it like this. Look, wrap the dress like this. Like this. Right.
All right, there's a dance. You got it. You'd be very popular in the United States if you danced like that. Okay. Well, now that we got to know each other a little bit, what if Brent will, I'll share my screen, or Brent, do you want to share your screen?
Sure.
Okay. And we'll fire up, this is a PowerPoint presentation. How many of you have done PowerPoint before? Wow. Wow. All right.
You
Okay.
can watch the PowerPoint on the screen. Don't move, just turn around and watch the
Pay
PowerPoint.
attention and follow the instructions.
You can watch it here and you can watch it over there.
Okay. So at Build It Yourself, we like to build projects while thinking about a problem and a mission. Because, like everything in life, we're trying to solve problems and make the world better. So, with our flying machines project, we have a problem. It takes way too long to get to school. We have a lot of wasted time, and it's really hard to travel anywhere, especially fun, exotic places. Um, do any of you have a long ride to school, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
1 hour.
Yes. 1 hour.
An hour.
Wow.
10 hours. Maybe like that make 5 hours. 10 hours. 10 hours. 5 hours. 4 minutes. 10 hours.
So imagine if you could take those hours and get them back. Imagine if you had to drive an hour to school, to and from school. That's 2 hours a day. Is there anything you would rather be doing, like playing video games or sleeping?
Go to church. They never let me play video games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I never let me have time with my bunny.
Okay.
So you guys definitely can appreciate that it takes too long to get to school. So our mission, we need to build flying machines that can get us from point A to point B really fast. Our goal is to get to school in less than 1 minute. If we can get
30 seconds.
nice. So imagine if you could get to school and home from school in just 2 minutes. That's an hour and 58 minutes of your life back for video games, to play with your bunny, all that kind of stuff. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes, video games. Bunny. Video games. Video games. Bunny.
Hey, John, should I cue up the video?
Sure, sure. Okay.
Okay. So, flying machines, there's a long history.
Actually, let's go to the next slide first before we cue up the video.
Okay.
So who knows, guys, the story of Daedalus and Icarus? Does anyone know who Daedalus and Icarus were?
No.
Lula, do you like to share who Daedalus and Icarus were?
Well, hello. You were so excited I was not able to introduce myself. My name is Isabella, and I come from Mexico. And I'm sharing with you this class. So, Daedalus is Greek, and he wants to fly. And Icarus is his son. So, because he wants to fly, he observes the birds. He thought about observing the birds and wanting to fly. Yes, what's your name? Sarah. Yes, Sarah? To have wings so he could fly. So what do you think he did in order to have wings? He looked for feathers. What else do you think he got in order to build those feathers? A special glue for that. But in those days, they were not able to go to any place to buy the glue. So he made glue with. Have you ever heard about wax candles?
No.
Yes, electric candles. So fly, and guess what?
He falls.
Not exactly. He's flying, but up.
All the way to the sun.
And he goes to space. To the sun.
To the sun. And guess what happened?
No.
Before that,
He became.
well, he's still a human.
The wax melted.
The wax melted. Yes, so he falls down, and well, but it was a first project with a flying machine. Is it all right, John?
Excellent, Lula. A history of one of the first recorded stories of man trying to fly like a bird. So Brenda's going to show you a video now of kind of the history of the development of flying machines.
Okay, so ready to look at that. Wow.
So this is maybe about 100 years ago. Whoop, rocket pack on the back. Didn't do so well. Here's another rocket man from, I think this is a rocket man in Japan.
We're going to water.
So he's going to fly into the ocean. So they want to make sure that when he lands, he has a safety raft. 2, 1, blast off. Nelly. Oh. Okay, so that's an example of how not to fly.
Yes.
Now you're going to see the ultimate skateboard. Hi, Elena.
Oh, hi, John. I wasn't sure you could see me. This is the first time I go in by myself without Lula. So it's a total...
Elena.
Hi, Elena.
Hi.
So this is the ultimate skateboard. Imagine going to school in a machine like this. Instead of 1 hour, you get to school in 1 minute. So these are real machines. These machines actually exist. So pretty soon you guys are going to be, you're going to be able to buy a flying machine like this. And instead of traveling in a car, you'll be able to fly wherever you want to go.
It will be a what? Ooh. The finally
Look at that.
The one that we read when we were.
So this is a combination car airplane.
It's like a nose man with a crazy nose.
Look at that. Look at that. That's great. No, it's a car and an airplane. Amazing. Yes.
All right, fantastic. So that's a little short story of a man's attempt to fly like a bird. So in order to understand the principles of flying machines, how to design a flying machine that works really well, we're going to start with paper airplanes. So Brent, can you show the video on World Championship airplanes? So they have a contest. This contest, I think, was done in Europe. And it's a championship for paper airplanes. The World Championship for paper airplanes.
Look at that. Wow. Look at that. Can you make it bigger, John? Yeah, that. Look. Well, you
These are people from all over the world that come to this conference to show off their paper airplane design skills.
It's super important.
So the video is a little hard to follow here, but you get the general idea.
That's the record holder.
That
I can try and shrink it. It might help with bandwidth.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the
Look, that's the airplane we're going to build.
Yes.
It's the record holder.
right now.
Yeah, right now. We're gonna build it.
All right. Okay, so we have our problem and our mission. Someone like to explain the problem before we start building?
Okay, who wants to explain the problem? Did you understand?
What's our problem?
What's our problem? Who can tell?
That we cannot get that fast to.
Right. And if that's the problem, what's the mission?
What is the mission?
To get more faster to school.
To?
To build a machine. Build a flying machine that can take you to school in 1 minute.
All right. You got it. Okay, so that's a good place to start. A good engineer always starts with a clear definition of the problem and the mission. All right, so Brent, can you set up the X101 paper airplane instructions?
Yes.
And then Lula, if you can hand out paper, we can hand out a piece of paper to everyone. We're gonna start building your own paper airplane design. Now before, let me just, let me introduce this project with, the first time you build something, and particularly a paper airplane, it will almost never work really well. So when you're building these paper airplanes, you have to go through a lot of trial and error process, a trial and error step in order to get your plane to fly well. So once we start building it, we're gonna stop and talk about what you can do to your airplane to make it fly better. But let's get the basic plane built first, and then we'll show you how we can make that, what the physics of flight are, and what you have to do to make your plane really fly as well as it can fly. Okay, first step.
Listen.
Okay. So the first thing you need to do, let's explain what hot dog fold and hamburger fold is. So hold your paper not horizontally, but you want to hold it, yes, as you see John doing.
So this is the wrong way. The long way, you don't want to do this. You want to fold it the hamburger way. Now, when you're designing paper airplanes, it's really important to make your folds as clean as possible. So make each fold really straight and crisp. You can do that by rubbing your fingernails against the fold many times. Okay? It's just like doing our origami. In order for your models to work well, you have to fold really carefully.
Very good. Yes. John, they're showing to you at the camera.
I see that. All right, we got it. Good step. Okay, next step, Brent.
Okay, so the next step, you want to take the corners and fold them, the top two corners, and fold them into the fold you just made. So you see how John is taking the corner and he's folding it downwards, and he's bringing this point
So you open it up and the corner you bring it
to here.
like this. Yes? Okay, sure. So you can like this and then you go the other way.
Do your best to get the points to line up to make a flat line here, because the more symmetrical your plane is, the better it will fly.
Your plane will fly crooked if it's not symmetrical. Does anyone know what symmetrical means? Who can explain? Who wants to take a guess at what symmetrical means?
John is asking, who can explain what is symmetrical?
Symmetric is an object that is the same. Both sides are the same.
Wow, excellent. What's your name?
Fernando.
Fernando. That's brilliant. That's exactly right. Explained just right. The right side has to equal the left side to be symmetric. Okay. Who can look at this picture and say what the next step is? What do you think the next step is? Okay.
Oh, sorry.
You got it, Brent.
I thought you were asking them to explain this one.
Like this?
Oh, you got it. Whoa, let's see. Whoa, hold it up again to the camera. Very good. Perfect. Okay. So far, so good.
And remember to try and make it symmetrical. So the point should line up with the first fold you made that crease. Has anyone here ever had a really heavy book bag? Have you ever tried to hold it on only one shoulder? You ever feel like you want to walk in that direction? Same thing with your paper airplane. If one side has more paper on it because it's folded uneven, the paper airplane might want to go in the wrong direction.
Okay, good example, Brent. Okay, the next step, guys, is we want to make the front end of your wing a little stronger. So we're going to fold the edges of the front end of your wing. So it's like this. Okay, you can see it in the blue paper, blue instructions on the left. You'll see it in on my video screen shortly.
This one is a little more complicated. So when you fold this edge over, make sure that when you fold it, this edge right here, you'll see it goes straight up and down, and this edge goes straight across. So you don't want to fold it where you have something uneven, like where it comes over and then it's, try and get it to and try to make both sides the same width. Don't accidentally fold it a lot thicker than the other side. Those are two things to be careful for.
Okay, so far so good.
Yes.
You have nice triangles there. Wow, how old are you? 8 years old. All right, good for you. How is it that you guys speak such good English?
I don't know.
You speak really perfect English. Wow.
I'm impressed too. Oops, sorry.
Okay, doing good. We have just a few more steps.
Oh, yes. Let's see here.
Everybody has it?
Okay. So the next step is we're going to make what's called on an airplane the fuselage. The fuselage is where all the passengers sit. It's the main body of the plane. And we're going to make that fuselage by just folding over the wings.
How?
Can you do it again for us, please?
Yep. So here's
We had it like that? Yeah.
one side. We have to do both sides.
Like this.
Yes. So all the pieces you folded already, just close your plane on the original crease. So all the folds are on the inside. And once you have it folded in half, all you have to do is bend back the wings. You're basically making it so you have something to hold when you throw it.
So you fold it. Yes, me. Sorry. You can help the ones. Just tell them don't do it for them. It's great. Excellent. And you can also
Like this?
Wow, you're quick. You're good at this.
excellent. Good job. Good.
I want to throw it right now.
Okay. It won't fly yet. Let's wait.
It won't fly yet.
Before we throw them, we're going to talk about what it takes to make your plane really fly well. It should look kind of like this now. Fuselage underneath, the folds on top. Okay, so we have one more fold to make, and then we're going to stop and show you some videos. So when you study airplanes, you'll notice that there's usually vertical elements on the plane. And those vertical elements are called fins, and they help keep your plane to go straight. They help steer your plane. So we're going to make fins for our plane by folding over the end of the wing. So you have a fold like this. Right? The end of the wing should have a fin on it. And that fin will help keep your airplane straight. So if you look at the blue diagrams, you'll see all the lines, all the triangles that you can use to make your plane symmetrical.
Like this?
Yep, that's good. You got it. Wow, you guys are quick.
Like this?
You guys are very quick. So far, so good.
Like this? See.
All right. Okay, so you can look at your classmates because many of you have it just right. All right, before you throw them, guys, can you all come up to the screen and we're going to show you some slides and a video.
Okay.
So, Brent, can you go to the Flying Machines Flying Machines homepage, the
Yes.
project page, and let's show the video of Julian flying his paper airplane. So scroll up.
I got that.
You got it. Okay, good. Okay, guys, so you have to watch this.
Okay.
So this is a
Look at that video.
MIT engineer.
Look at that. Look at that. Wow, what happened?
That's a problem. That's definitely a problem. Okay.
Okay, now look at him. He's going to try again.
So he's talking about being patient and trying again and again and again until he gets it just right. Look at what he's done. He's added a pilot for customization, and he's added paper clips and a nose to control the center of gravity. Now watch the plane. Now slides beautiful just because we added paper clips.
Look at that.
All right.
Go straight.
Okay, so let's show a couple of slides that demonstrate the center of gravity before you add paper clips to your paper airplane.
Okay, this is important. Let's pay attention.
It's very important.
So if you go back to our main PowerPoint, Brent.
Oh, can you see it?
This is not the folded one.
Oh, I see. Yes, I got that.
Thank you. Okay, so if you scroll down to center, right there, great.
Look at that. Very important. Look at
Okay,
that.
so who can come up to the screen and read this slide?
Who can read it?
Diana, go ahead.
The first one.
Out loud.
Physics of flight. Center of gravity. The center of gravity will determine if your plane will dive, stall, or glide straight.
Excellent.
Position.
Okay, who can read? That's excellent. What's your name?
Adriana.
Ariana. Nicely read, Ariana. Who can read the three conditions for the center of gravity? What's the first one?
No, but he wants you to help him read. Kneel and read where it says dive.
Dive. Paperclip too far forward.
So if you're in an airplane and all the passengers and all the baggage are in the front of the plane, what do you think is going to happen?
It's gonna dive.
It's going to dive, right? You can read the second condition.
Like this. Read the second. Stall paperclip too far to the rear.
So if all the passengers and all the baggage, the suitcases, are in the rear of the plane, your plane will stall. And that's a really nasty situation for a pilot, because if your plane stalls, you lose speed and you'll almost surely crash. So you don't want your weight to be too far in the back. And what's the ideal condition?
Glide. Paperclip at the center of gravity.
At the center of gravity. And the center of gravity, next slide, Brent. The center of gravity is where your plane balances. So generally, you want to put the paper clip such that when your airplane is resting on your finger, it will neither go like this or like this. It'll balance perfectly. You have to find a position to put your paper clips. So I generally found that you need a couple of paper clips in the front. And sometimes you can even put the paper clips on the two wings. You can put them on the fuselage, or you can even put them on the two wings like this. I'm gonna put 3 paper clips on here, 1 on the fuselage, 2 on the wings. Can you see that? Paper clips on the front ends of the wings, and then you can put a paper clip along the fuselage. And now you can go and experiment, test fly your planes, and each time you fly it, adjust the paper clip until the plane flies straight. It neither goes like this or it goes like this. It should fly straight across if you get the paper clip on your fuselage adjusted just to the right point. It may take you 10 tries, 10 test flights before you get it right, or even more. But don't give up.
Don't give up, guys. Try and then try again until you get it. Okay?
Okay. Thanks, Brent.
You're welcome.
Okay, so shall we get in a line and let's test one at a time. And we'll try to critique each other's plane. Stand in a line and we'll test one at a time, and then you can do many tests. But let's see if we can critique our our teammates design and tell them whether they need to put paper clips in the front or in the back.
Right. What do you want? Now they have to try.
Guys, can I tell you something super important?
Go over there.
What happens when you move the clips? What happens when you move the clips? Some of them, what happens? Some will die. Some will cry. Some will cry. Are they fighting? Some die. Okay, let's show John. Let's show John what's going on. Fly your airplanes.
All right. Okay, now's the time to test your plane and adjust. Test and adjust.
Test and adjust.
Test and edit.
Okay, let's see how your airplanes look at yourselves. Fly your airplanes in front of John's camera so that he can see what you're doing. Okay, John, there they are.
Great, thank you, Lula. You shouldn't have to throw it too hard. You should, oh, I see some of them are gliding really well. You don't need to throw it hard, just let it release. And if it releases, all right. Looking good, guys.
Okay. Somebody has any questions for John? Let's see Miss Michelle. Let's see Miss Michelle. Wow, look at that. Shelter. Show him your airplane. Show him. Look, John.
Oh, nice. That one flies really well.
Look at this. The clips are.
All right. Okay, look. Perfect. Nice design. Now, if you guys want to experiment with your planes even more, in the next class, if you want to continue what you've done or at home, you could make a pilot for your plane. So if you look at the video here.
Okay, John, we can start making a reflection of our learning today.
Sure, go ahead, Lula. Why don't you direct the conclusion?
No, John, you.
Okay. All right. So we have just 10 more minutes. Shall we gather around the camera and talk about next steps?
Yes. Gather around the camera to talk about the next step. Very good. What would be the next step, Mr. Galina?
Okay. So let's see if I can get my video up here. View options. So I can't. Hold on a second. Brent,
do you want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, stop sharing your screen, please. Thanks, Brent. All right, I see lots of colorful airplanes there. We're going to show you how you can make your airplanes look even more cool. So let's hit full screen. So you can see my video now. So what we can do to your airplanes is add a pilot. So you can draw a cartoon and you can make a pilot for your plane. And you can stick this cartoon right in your fuselage. Okay, you can move it back and forward. You can move this pilot back and forward in the slot of the fuselage to help control your center of gravity. So you have to test it many times. And then you can also put decorations on your plane. So you could make fire coming out the back of your plane. Here's a pilot. And here's on the fins are some lightning bolts. So you could get some colored pencils and draw cartoon and decals and even rocket fire for your airplane to make it look even more cool. All right, so next steps, guys, try to make your airplanes look cool by decorating them. Add a pilot and some decals. So before we adjourn, who likes to summarize? What's the problem? Why are we building paper airplanes?
Hernan, what's the problem of the
Takes too long to get to school. So what's our mission?
To build a flying machine that can take us in 1 minute.
To take us to school in 1 minute. And what's the center of gravity? What is important about the center of gravity in an airplane? Who likes to explain the consequences of the center of gravity?
Because there's like a guy that happens only twice. There's straight and there's to the
Okay. So 3 conditions for flying are center of gravity in the front, in the rear, and right in the middle, so the plane balances and goes straight. Right? Okay, what's important about the left side and the right side of your plane? They are equal, they're symmetrical. Okay, so those are 2 critical elements in the design of a good plane: center of gravity and symmetry. You'll learn more about flying machines if you join our workshops on other flying machines. We can show you a little bit. Brent, can you go to the main project page? Share your, yeah, great. So we're going to show you a video in parting that shows you all of the flying machines we build. At the very top of the screen, there's a video. Yep, that one, mission introduction. Whoops.
Oh no, that's the wrong. Okay, I have it prepped in Firefox, but me.
Okay, so here's all of our airplanes. She's one of our workshop leaders, Angelica Piedrejita from Colombia. She has a brainstorm hat also. And she made this video. So we make flying machines out of premium quality junk. She's talking about the problem. Man has always wanted to fly, but the problem with flying is that it takes a long, and here we talk about the inventors of one of the first flying machines, Wilbur and Orville Wright, the Wright brothers. The problem with flying is that it's expensive, it takes a long time, and sometimes it pollutes the air. So our mission is to design the next generation of way cool looking flying machines that could get you your dream place in a blink of an eye. So here's some of the flying machines that you'll build in our Flying Machines project. This is a straw rocket. Here's a rubber band glider. And here's an air rocket. Ready, set, go. Okay, so there you have it. So I hope, Brent and I hope to see you in more Build It Yourself workshops. Hope you'll join our crew of builders. Have a nice rest of the day.
Don't go, John. Don't go. Don't go.
We want to thank you for all your time.
Oh, you're most welcome.
The kids surely enjoy it. Did you enjoy it, guys?
Hey, nice to have you. All right. Well, it's a pleasure building with you.
Thank you, friends, also for your time.
You're welcome.
We love it. Thank you.
Great. Okay.
Take care.
Have a blessed
Bye,
day.
everyone.
Don't
Nice
go.
building with you.
Okay.
Don't go, John. Thank you so much. Remember, you have to make a pilot for your airplane. Draw a pilot. Yes.
All right.
Okay. John, I want to introduce you. She gets into
Hi.
well. She's better she tells you because I got the idea, but not so well.
Meet you. Wonderful lesson today.
Hold on one second until the noise in the background calms down a little bit. I'm sorry, your name is? Ana. Your name is Ana? Anaí Payeta. Okay.
So I'll wait just a second. The kids are about to leave.
Okay.
It's a little noisy. So
Sure.
So very nice to meet you. I'm the curriculum director at AST.
Great.
And just very lucky to have been invited to witness this wonderful lesson.
Oh, well, it's our pleasure. We would love to work with you and students in Honduras.
Yes, so just introduced to Build It Yourself and very much in tune with what we're trying to accomplish at the school. We are, in the beginning of STEAM learning and authentic learning, problem-based learning. So this really just, I think, falls right in with what we're doing, and I commend you for this type of learning. It was just so great to see the kids so engaged.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's our pleasure, and we're the ones that are having just as much fun as the kids. May Brent and I know a little bit more about your school. It's called the American School.
The American School of Tegucigalpa.
Okay.
We're a private K-12 school based in Tegucigalpa, and we have about 1,100 students.
Wow.
Nursery to grade 12. So
Wow.
Preschool, elementary, middle, and high.
All on the same campus?
All in the same campus.
Very nice. Wow. Okay. It sounds spectacular. I was really impressed at how well your kids speak English. I assume they start when they're really young.
Yes, at 3 years old, start very early, and our English, our students get a lot of compliments on their English, and so they're very excited to, I think, to have this type of learning with, it was live, so very different from just, watching a video. The steps as opposed to being able to interact with you, and I forgot your name.
John and Brent.
Okay, Brent. Hi, Brent.
Hello.
I don't want to take more of your time, but I just wanted to say hi, and I was telling this about the possibility of maybe connecting again and talking about a possible partnership with your organization.
Sure. The best is to collaborate with Lula, and Lula is a really, really important part of our team. And anything that Lula is good with Lula is good with us.
Well, that's great. So thank you for your time, and I'll let Lula say goodbye because I know she's ready to get going.
Okay, great. Bye.
Thank you.
Just wait, John. They want a photograph, so we're gonna stand by the screen over here.
time that you gave to them.
You're welcome. Our pleasure. We enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice working with you.
So see you, John, next week. We are
Okay, Lula.
cool.
Monday, see you in Jalapa.
Ramon, maybe it's there.
Okay. Yep. Hi, Ramon. Nice to meet you. Hope to see you again soon.
Bye, Brandon. See you next week.
Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Brent.
You're welcome.
All good. Have a good rest of the day. We'll talk later.
Yes. See you tonight.
Okay, great.